Hey, what is up guys? Welcome to Brick Productions, and guys, today is part 2 of building Mimban. So this is the second part. It is the second addition to the building series for Mimban. Now this mock is inspired from Solo, a Star Wars story, more of the recent Star Wars film, depending on when you're watching this. But as I'm talking and as I'm building, that is the most recent Star Wars film. So, today I'm going to be talking about more of the trench, as that was what I've been building for the past week. And the main trench is almost done. So if you haven't seen part 1, I'd recommend to go click off this video and go watch that one, as that video explained to you on how this mock is going to look like and gave you a better understanding on the direction of it and what my plans are with this mock. So anyways, guys, today, I basically am doing the cutoff part. If you guys remember that when I was talking about that in the trench, where basically it does that zigzag formation. That's what I'm mainly be covering today, and just some future stuff. And I'm also going to be answering some questions that many of you guys have been asking, some speculations and stuff like that about this mock. So plan on clearing that up today. So anyways, guys, that will be the intro for this video, and let's go ahead and dive into it. Alrighty guys, so here we go. This is the mock so far. I didn't get as much as I wanted to in for this video. The main plan was to get this entire trench complete for this video, so was definitely working hard the past week. Some of the days I was pretty busy. I wasn't even able to get onto this this mock and build it, so that was kind of frustrating, but it's all good. Another thing is, these walls for the trenches actually take a really long time to build. So I know I didn't talk about that in the last video, but these walls take, you know, a pretty long time to build them. And it's just because of so much detail, so much different strategy, I guess, used towards the wall. And I explained this in the last video, but my main goal is to have every wall of this trench have its own unique look. And so far, it's turned out really, really good. I'm really proud on how the wall's looking. So let's dive into the new addition. So last video was this part. It was basically this front little trench here, and I think some of that wall was in, I'm not sure. And then this was in, this wall was in, and then this little pathway here was in. That's going to eventually lead off into the airfield. So that's what's going on there. I did put a reddish brown plate there, just you know, for future reference, and that's where the main surface is going to be. Not necessarily a part of the no man's land area, but it is going to be, you know, kind of a part of its terrain. Really, this point over, there's hardly going to be any artillery craters or disturbed land, I guess. It's going to kind of look like the inside of the trench, basically. That's kind of what I'm shooting for back here, but over here is going to be pretty messed up. So I know my parts are everywhere, so it's kind of tough to visualize, but you know, I am in the process of building it, so hope you guys understand why it's just another mess right now, full of parts. So yeah. I'll talk about the new additions here. So this wall is now complete. I know you can't really see it that well, but there we go. So this wall is now complete. In the last video it wasn't. I don't even think I showed this wall in the last video, but there was a portion there in the last video. I've got a couple of figures in. This wall wasn't complete either. I think it was just this little section right here that was in. But now this one's complete. It's got its little corner piece there. And then this wall is running across over here. And this is what I was talking about, the zigzag formation. And this is what was basically talking about in the last video was this mock is heavily going to be based off of not only the Solo movie, but also Imperial tactics and stuff like that, and the First World War. Because in the First World War, they did do these zigzag formation trenches. I'm not going to go into in depth with it again in this video because I did talk about it in the announcement video and in part 1. So if you're just joining in on this building series, again, would recommend to go watch part 1. Click off this video and go watch that video, and you'll kind of get a better understanding of what I'm going for here. So this wall didn't really turn out as good as I wanted it to. It's definitely not as good as this one, but I think it turned out pretty decently, especially running along over here. I know you can't really see it that well because this bridge is in the way, and I'll get onto that in a minute and explain that. But the one thing I do like is these pyramid pieces that I used that kind of gives it that really, I don't know, it just gives it that edgy look. It's different. And again, back to me trying to make the trench walls in its own different way. So that's what I'm shooting for there. And also, there's a sticker used here. And that sticker is in particular used from the Death Star set, the newer one. So that sticker sheet's pretty expensive. It's normally going for, I think, like $15 on Bricklink. I got it for $7 though. So hats off to the Bricklink seller. It's actually Blaine's World who's sponsoring this mock, so appreciate him. Got some of those metallic silver lightsaber hilts as representing his piping. And I absolutely love the metallic silver look. Kind of like over here, there's some metallic silver there. You know, I love the metallic silver mixture into the light bluish gray color. Metallic silver is probably one of my favorite colors in the Lego brand in terms of parts. Just really cool. It stands out. It's unique. So here's an awesome part. I think this part is from the buildable figures, like the armor or whatever, or Bionicle. That white part, I'm not 100% sure. You guys can let me know because I don't even know what that part is. I thought it was cool, and I was like, I'll just put it on the wall. So yeah, some pearl dark gray pieces, some more piping, some hoses, stuff like that. And then we got this wall here. Now this wall is, I think, the most similar to this one. Because it's kind of got the same parts going on here, but some of it's different, such as this. And I think this piping here, this right here, turned out phenomenal. I think that looks really cool, actually. And then this here, all that really just looks cool. So I'm really happy on how that turned out. Again, using the Death Star stickers there, stuff like that. So yeah, and then this wall. Basically, to finish this trench, this wall is going to run down in this one, and this trench will be done. I got to fill in the terrain, but this is another ladder thing that I'm doing here, and this is basically the same thing here, and that's basically for the troops to climb up out of the trench and go fight. So yeah, and then the last thing is this little ladder, or not ladder, this little trench bridge. And again, this is based off of World War I. And it's interesting because they actually use these at the Mimban campaign, which is really interesting. And that's why I think World War I was a heavy inspiration actually for the movie. They were actually there over the trenches. So that's something new, and I'm probably going to do probably 3 of them throughout the entire trench maybe. I don't know, it does kind of take up a lot, and you really can't see the detail on the walls, so I may only do 2, or just leave it at 1. But basically what these are designed for is for troops that are coming from this area over here. They basically don't have to climb down into this trench, run across, go up this ladder, and then go and fight in no man's land. They could just easily run across this bridge without doing all that work. So that's what it's designed for. So anyways, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get on to some questions that have been asked, some frequent ones, some popular ones for this mock. So the first one is, will I be doing the ATDT walker? Will I be building that? It's a really good question. A lot of people have asked me that, and I'm currently looking at it. I don't know at this point. I would like to build it, and I think it'd be really cool in the mock. And the AT-DT walker is pretty cool. You briefly see it during the movie. I think it's only in one scene and one shot. There's really not that much reference to go off on for the AT-DT walker, so it'd be really difficult for me to build it. But as of right now, I'm just going to go ahead and say no. But still, kind of expect it because I could very well do it. Next question is, will I be doing the cargo shuttle from the Mimban segment from Solo? And this is basically the cargo shuttle that Beckett's crew hijacked, and they went to do the coaxium train heist with the cargo shuttle. And again, another great question. I'm going to go ahead and say no. Unfortunately, I actually did want to build it because it is a cool cargo shuttle. I think it would have been awesome and a really good Mimban setting for it. But the problem is that any aircraft that I do is going to be in the airfield here. And that cargo shuttle is pretty massive, actually. And so the airfield size is going to be a little bit of this base plate and then this one. And that cargo shuttle would not fit on this no matter what I do. It wouldn't work. So, and it'd take away from just the overall scene. So I'm not doing the cargo shuttle. Another question that came in, and this one isn't really as popular, but I think probably a lot of people were thinking of this and wondering it. You guys see the crappy back wall of the trench there. Don't mind that. That's going to be covered up. Don't worry. That will be covered up. But anyways, this particular question was, and spoilers, will I be doing the pit with Chewbacca in it? And it's basically the scene where the Mimban stormtroopers carry away Han Solo. They throw him in the pit, and Chewbacca and Han kind of get into, not necessarily a fight, but they almost get into a pretty brutal fight. A little tiff, basically, but it's a good question. Yes, I'm going to go ahead and say yes, I will be doing that pit, because I'm pretty sure I can do it. The only concern that I have is that pit was, I think it was in the airfield, and the problem is the airfield is only going to be one brick higher off the base plate. And well, obviously the pit's going to have to be, exceptionally lower than the airfield. And I just don't have enough room. I don't have the depth for it. So what I'm going to do is, with this rock work that's going to kind of wrap around, which I talked about in part one, it's going to kind of go across. I know my parts are in the way again, so excuse that. But I'm basically going to put the pit somewhere in here. And basically, at shows and conventions and whatnot, people can just kind of walk around, and I'm going to put some trans-clear panels where people can see in the pit with Chewie and Han in it. So that is the plan. But there's a slight chance it may not happen. But again, like I said with the AT-DT, the same thing. Go ahead and expect it. AT-DT, I wouldn't expect it as much as the pit. But AT-DT is a good possibility that very well likely could be in this mock. So, yeah. So anyways, guys, I know that this video wasn't as immersive, I guess, as interesting as the last one, but I think you guys are going to be pretty happy with it. So, yeah. But anyways, next part, I will promise that this trench will be finished. I do want to say that this trench isn't 100% complete because I got to put some tiles in. There's a little taste of it there, some tiles. But I have no reddish brown tiles, so yeah, that's what's going on with that. So yeah, guys. And then also the next part, I think I should be able to have some of this main surface in, and then that's when you guys are really going to be able to see, visually see the direction of this mock instead of imagining it. So that's what's going on. Again, if you haven't seen part one and you don't really know how the plans are, the ideas are, I would really highly recommend to go watch that video because I go through and break down everything I'm going to do. So yeah, if you guys have any more further questions, be sure to leave them down in the comments below, and I will try my best to answer them in part 3. Stay tuned for part 3, and don't forget to subscribe and follow the sponsors for this video, which is Blaine's World and the Wolfpack Customs. And I'll see you guys in the next video. This is Brick Productions, signing off.